In 1980, American soul-funk vocalist and former Bette Midler backing singer Sharon Redd released her self-titled debut solo album, and from it, the track Try My Love on Four Sides. I love how the strings have that flare up, kind of that shimmery, flowery feel. Very much harkening back, well, a couple of years to the deep disco era.
Yeah, I can see that you're lonely and you really need a friend. Come on, take a ride in my love. Come on and give it a spin.
Her voice has kind of like an elegant waver to it. Vibrato. It's interesting how this song comes out in 1980, sounding like it could have come out in 1977, 78, and yet at the same time, that Pointer Sisters, those tracks that I did the other day, came out in 1980 and yet sounded completely of the new decade, completely removed from the disco era. Yeah, 1980 being kind of at like on the fence. Like there were some acts that were still, some producers that were still a bit tied to disco. Others were just moving away from it completely. The writing was kind of on the wall, but like I've even heard that there were some recordings made that year where between the start and end date of the recording sessions, the prospects of releasing a disco record had really changed. I heard that like Diana Ross's record from that year had to be like remixed by the end of the sessions because some of the things they had just seemed like suicide from a marketing standpoint. Just with it, and these changes occurring just in the span of a few months.
I know that you're feeling downhearted. Believe me, it won't last, it won't last. I'll make your heartaches, baby, a thing of the past. Let my magic touch you. Let me come inside.
Okay, I like the waver there, the vibrato of the two of the adjoining female vocals, and I wonder if she's backed on this by some of her harlots ladies. Let's see, backing vocals. Well, there's a couple of men credited. There's Roland Clark. There's Sass. There's Bobby. Okay. Oh, Sass, female trio of singers who were often hired by local producers. Maybe not. I don't know. Find out more on that later. Yeah.
Let my love affect you. I wanna see your feelings. Don't let them hide. Don't let them hide. Why don't you just try my love on the sides? Come on, baby, yeah, try my love on the sides. You can have it.
Okay, we've got this kind of funkier, kind of bouncier, like tighter cadence, reminiscent of, well, many passages in the catalog of Cheryl Lynn from around this time period. Or actually, or Stephanie Mills, who I was mentioning in that Pointer Sisters video. Yeah, so a bit more kind of that 1980 vibe now.
My love on the side, you can get it. Try my love on the
I love the minor key in that passage, yeah, as those strings like flare up and get all shimmery. It's kind of like, it has somewhat of a dark vibe, but it's kind of like Crimson Light in the Dark kind of vibe. Like I think of some of those like 1976 disco covers when that theme was really in vogue, a lot of these kinds of string arrangements were in use. Like, well, I think of the Lady Flash record that I did something from last summer.
so love has run away from you. I can see the hurt on your face. You can't let it slow you down. Come on, get back in the race.
She's got a good like control timbre for mid range Like it's expressive, but not too like overbearing. It's just it's understated at the same time, and indicating that she is kind of in control of her emotions, even if she is not so happy about the results in like her romantic, in whichever romantic endeavor the lyrics have to deal with.
Here's my love, come on and take it. I wanna feel the fire in you.
I like that line right there, how she said fire, that vibrato on that word.
Together, I know we can make it. I wanna do all I can do. Let my magic touch you. Let me come inside. Let my love affect you. I wanna see your feelings. Don't let them hide. Don't let them hide. Why don't you just try my love on the side, baby? Yeah, try my love on the side. You can have it. Try my love on the side. Oh yeah, try my love on the side.
I like how the vocals are being used a bit more, a bit of acrobatics in that department, using them as an instrument, like during these passages with the like wordless, ad libs and such. But I also like how in the mix, basically everything is equal. The music is on equal footing with the vocals. Like in some of these, like soul pop records from the time period. The music will be kind of down in the mix to really bring the vocals out to the fore, and to the point where the vocals just really dominate everything. And here the vocals are prominent, but they don't like overpower the music. Everything is just balanced. I just remembered something else. I guess that shimmery string arrangements remind you, particularly that one line where they just went no 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 like that. 1984 by David Bowie. Love how those horns are coming blasting in, adding more kind of like nuance to that section. Yeah, giving a bit of like Love and Limited Orchestra feel.
Let my magic touch you. Let me come inside. Let my love affect you.
I'm hearing sevenths in these chords. It's like G7 to minor 7. Yeah, adding, giving it kind of like a kind of a dull note feel, like a deep kind of plunge sort of, that.
I wanna see your feelings. Don't let them hide. Don't let them hide. Why don't you just try my love on the side? Come on, baby, yeah. Try my love on the side. You can have it. Try my love on the side. I want you to leave, baby. Try my love on the side. Oh.
Unfortunately, the women in SAS are not really identified anywhere. It seems they're just a female trio that sing on a lot of records, and yeah, I don't know who those ladies backing her up here are.
Try my love on the side. I want you to leave, baby. Try my love on the side. I won't hurt you. Try my love on the side. You can have me. Try my love on the side. Don't you love on the side? Feeling lonely. Try my love on the side. Let me be your only. Try my
Yeah, I love how she was kind of improvising around those backup singers toward the end, just, laying it, just showing more of her octave range. And yeah, that was Sharon Redd with Try My Love On for Size from her 1980 self titled debut solo album, her first of three solo long players released between 1980 and 1983. Although much earlier in her career, she was 35 at the time this album came, 34 going on 35 when it came out. Back in the late 60s, she put out a couple of singles. Yeah, Half as Much. Yeah, and then I don't know about the early 70s, but for mid to late 70s, she was in the Harlots, which backed Bette Midler, a female vocal trio, and they put out an album in 1978 titled Formerly of the Harlots. Yeah. Anyway, let's hear another track from the album, Love Is Gonna Get You. Similar chords to the other one, kind of got that minor, some minor keys mixed with alternating with some like sevenths and for that kind of darker sort of melodramatic dull note feel.
You said you would never fall, so we left it as friends. But I've fallen in love with you again.
Okay, if I'm going to make just a drive-by comparison, I could say that it's kind of like a mixture of what Sister Sledge were doing, kind of in the production, with the rhythmic feel of what Cheryl Lynn was doing around this time.
You and your suspicions are the confusing things that you do. Trapped inside your chest, too scared to lose.
I like the way her voice is kind of oozing in this one in that mid-range. Yeah, I'm like it's a little bit more seductive in this one.
Now, look at the situation. We're out here alone. I can't wait till your commotions come.
That was a great vocal melody there on the pre-chorus, and I love that landing chord, that pivot chord that's leading us right to, well, the chorus. Yeah, that kind of far chord right there.
Love is gonna get you. My love. Love is gonna get you. Love is gonna get you. My love. Love is gonna get you. I'm not just the position of begging for what I need.
This is basically D minor to C major 7 right here.
Trying to make a change embarrasses me. Don't give me your promises, just give me your heart. Now we're standing like two fools in the dark.
I appreciate the subtle instrumentation that's beneath it all. Like everything, nothing is really like overpowering. Except, okay, maybe the beat is the most prominent thing, the downbeats. But there's like little light touches of like electric piano. There's like little smooth, delicate, subtle bass lines just kind of popping here and there, or bumping here and there, just very, very delicately.
Look at the situation. We're out here alone. I can't wait till your commotion.
It's almost like a bell sound, that little light piano, like dum.
Love is gonna get you. My love is gonna get you. Love is gonna get you. My love is gonna get you. Love is gonna get you. My love is gonna get you.
got that clipped guitar, kind of reminiscent of Chic. Yeah. Unfortunately, no instrumental credits are given. It just says credits, backing vocals, Bobby Thurston, Roland Clark, Sass, engineer Bob Dawson, and producer Willie Lester and Rodney Brown. Okay, I finally found the credits, and let's see, we are hearing let's see, two bassists credited, one James Brown, and Jerry Wilder, U.S. R&B bassist, vocalist, songwriter. Definitely not the James Brown. This guy, James T. Brown, yeah, he played around the same time. He played on the album by Bobby Thurston, You Got What It Takes. Yeah, a name that's I've already read off of here. And let's see. The following year, Evelyn King's I'm in Love, Gail Adams, self-titled album. Let's see, drums, Steve Walker, keyboards, synthesizer, Kevin Toney, lead guitar, Rodney Brown, percussion, Carl Lacey, and rhythm guitar, Theodore Sugar Bear Jones. More on these guys in a second. Okay, and it looks like quite a few of these players are actually tied. End up linking several of the singers I've already mentioned together. It seems that Gail Adams, Sharon Redd, and Evelyn King are linked by several of these backing players. Yeah, and the guitarist, Theodore Sugar Bear Jones, let's see, he also played on Al Johnson's Peaceful album from 1978. Positive Change from 1978. I can't remember if I've worked through that one. And let's see, the 1982 album by Chemistry, KH Chemistry. Yeah. And, interesting. And several Bobby Thurston titles. That was Sharon Redd with Love Is Gonna Get You, and before that, Try My Love On for Size, two standout tracks from her 1980 debut self-titled solo album. And she would release two more albums over the next 3 years, Red Hot in 1982 and Love How You Feel 1983, all on Prelude Records. And she became quite popular in the clubs. Unfortunately, at some point or another, she contracted HIV and died in 1992 of AIDS. I guess one of the first heterosexual females in the entertainment industry to succumb to the virus. Yeah. I don't know more of the story on that, but at this point, it's um, it's just a sad story, and leave it at that. Yeah, but she left two very strong. The first two albums anyway are really strong. Yeah, and during a period when music like this was really riding high, like creatively speaking, like all those like singers that I mentioned from around this time were all putting out albums of similar quality. That mixture of like soulful vocals with like funky arrangements and smooth production and good songwriting. Yeah, it was like a golden age of soul pop. Before the music kind of went took sort of a quality slide during the second half of the '80s, and ended up getting more having more crossover success. Kind of the blander it got, but that's a story for another time, or maybe no time at all. Yeah. Anyway, for more rubies and sapphires from the catalog of Sharon Redd, see the directory of albums by American soul artists linked in the description below. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the two tracks we just heard. The interplay, the layers, the harmonies, the rhythmic feel, the production and all. And most of all, the vocals, yeah. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most ear-traveled trim maximalist, signing off.